Welcome back to History Unveiled. I'm Alex.
And I'm Jordan. Today, we're examining the pivotal role of British Foreign Secretary George Brown during the June 1967 war, and how his controversial speech at the UN challenged the prevailing narratives about Israel and Palestine.
Israel became a member of the United Nations in May 1949, but its early experiences were mixed. By June 21, 1967, the Israeli delegation sat at the UN ready to hear a speech that would shock them. What was the significance of this moment?
It marked a turning point in how Israel was perceived on the international stage. George Brown's speech was unprecedented for a British diplomat, openly criticizing Israel's expansionist policies and calling for a withdrawal from occupied territories. This was a bold move that signaled a shift in British diplomacy.
Brown's speech was structured and direct. He invoked Article 2 of the UN Charter, emphasizing the need for member states to refrain from territorial expansion through force. How did this resonate with the Israeli delegation?
It was met with shock and disbelief. Brown essentially accused Israel of violating international norms, which was a significant departure from the usual supportive rhetoric. His acknowledgement of Israel's expansionism was a powerful challenge to the narrative of Israel as merely a small state defending itself against aggression.
The Israeli response was swift and harsh. Brown was labeled a traitor, and a smear campaign followed. What does this reveal about the political climate at the time?
It highlights the intense pressure that politicians faced when they deviated from pro-Israel narratives. Brown's speech threatened to reshape British policy, and the pro-Israel lobby quickly mobilized to counter his remarks, fearing a shift in public opinion.
George Brown was known for his intelligence and outspoken nature, but his career was marred by alcoholism. How did this affect his role as foreign secretary?
While his personal struggles may have impacted his political career, Brown was nonetheless a significant figure in post-1967 diplomatic efforts. He sought to balance British interests with relationships in the Arab world, especially after the fallout from the Suez Crisis in 1956.
Brown's focus on improving relations with Arab oil-producing countries reflected changing priorities in British foreign policy. How did this influence his stance on Israel?
Brown understood that maintaining good relations with Arab states was crucial for Britain's geopolitical interests, especially in light of the Cold War dynamics. His criticism of Israel was not an indictment of the state itself, but rather a call for a more balanced approach to foreign policy that acknowledged the rights and grievances of Palestinians.
Despite the backlash from pro-Israel factions within the Labour Party, Brown's position ultimately remained secure. What does this indicate about the internal dynamics of the party?
It shows that while there was significant pressure from pro-Israel MPs, the broader context of British foreign policy and the leadership of Harold Wilson provided Brown with a buffer. Wilson himself maintained a close relationship with Israel, which helped mitigate the fallout from Brown's speech.
Today, we've explored George Brown's pivotal role during a critical moment in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. His willingness to challenge the status quo raises important questions about the responsibilities of political leaders in addressing complex international issues.
Absolutely. Brown's experience reminds us that dissenting voices can be crucial in shaping policy and public perception. As we reflect on these historical events, how can we encourage open dialogue about contentious issues in our current political landscape?
Thank you for joining us. We hope this episode has shed light on George Brown's impact during the June 1967 war and the complexities of British foreign policy. Let's continue to explore how historical narratives shape our understanding of contemporary issues.
See you next time on History Unveiled. We'll be back with more stories that shape our world.